Welcome back to USA Coins. Today we are diving deep, and I mean deep, into one of the most iconic yet overlooked coins in American history. Yes, I'm talking about the 1979 Lincoln cent penny. You might think, it's just a regular penny, right? Wrong. This humble 1-cent coin, struck over 4 decades ago, holds secrets that could make you hundreds or even thousands of dollars richer. If you know what to look for. So grab your magnifying glass and let's get started, because the 1979 Lincoln cent is a small coin with a massive story. The history behind the 1979 Lincoln penny. Before we talk about value, let's understand the coin itself. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin's design remained relatively unchanged for decades, but small minting changes and errors have made some of these coins incredibly valuable to collectors. 1979 was an important year. The United States Mint struck hundreds of millions of these pennies at 3 primary locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The ones from Philadelphia have no mint mark, Denver coins have a D mint mark, and San Francisco coins bear an S, most of which were proof coins. But here's the twist: even though 1979 saw mass production, some of these coins are now worth hundreds, thousands, and in some very specific error cases, even more than $585,000. Yes, you heard that right. Let's break it down. S/mint marks and their hidden value. Let's start with the basics. Lincoln penny. This coin was struck without a mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint produced more than 6 billion of these coins. Most of them are common and circulate regularly. But what makes some of them incredibly valuable are striking errors. Double dies. High grade condition. If you have a 1979 P penny in mint state 67 or above, with a sharp strike, original red luster, and no post-mint damage, it could be worth up to $200 to $1,000, or more, depending on the demand and condition. Now let's talk about the Denver Mint again. Billions were minted, but here's where things get interesting. Some of these pennies have repunched mint marks. These are called RPM errors, where the D mint mark was punched twice or more in slightly different positions. Collectors love these. Depending on condition, an RPM penny from 1979 can fetch anywhere from $100 to several $1,000s at auction. The legendary San Francisco proof pennies, 1979 Snow. This is where the magic begins. San Francisco produced proof coins in 1979, specially made for collectors, struck on highly polished dies and planchets. The 1979 S-proof Lincoln cent exists in 2 varieties. Type 1 has a blob-like mint mark. Type 2 has a clearer, sharper S. The Type 2 1979 S-proof Lincoln penny is scarcer and can command $50 to $300 or more, especially in perfect PR 69 or PR 70 condition. And yes, if you find a flawless Type 2 1979 S penny still in its proof set or slabbed by a top grading company like PCGS or NGC, you could be looking at serious cash. Let's talk errors. The true treasure hunt of coin collecting. Here are some known 1979 Lincoln cent errors that have sold for big money. Center strikes. These are coins that were not aligned properly. When struck, the more off-center it is, without losing the date, the more valuable. A 50% off-center 1979 penny could go for $250 to $500 or more. Some 1979 pennies, especially from Philadelphia, exhibit doubling on the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust. If verified, this can easily bring $100 to $1,500, depending on grade and severity. BIE errors. These occur when a die crack appears between the B and E of the word Liberty, forming what looks like an I. These are collectible and can sell for $10 to $100, but rare examples in mint condition can go higher. Clipped planchets, die breaks, and cuts. Unusual planchet or striking errors can drive value through the roof. These coins are one of a kind, and collectors will pay a premium. Recently, a 1979 Lincoln penny with a dramatic die cut sold for over $1,200. What makes your 1979 penny valuable? So, what should you look for? P, D, or S proofs with a clear S are gold. Doubling, RPMs, center strikes. Is the coin bright red? No scratches? Strong details. Coins graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC can command serious prices. Even regular-looking coins can surprise you. That 1979 penny in your junk drawer? It might not be junk after all. Market value and auction highlights. Let's talk real money.as of this year. The collector market is hot. Coin auctions are breaking records. Here are a few recent sales of 1979 Lincoln pennies. 1979 DRPM in MS66 red, sold $4.10751979, S-Type 2 PR70 DCAM, sold $4.22001979 off-center street MS63 red, sold $4.58511979, P double die obverse MS65, sold $4.1520, and the highest known error coin, one extremely rare 1979 penny with a dramatic die clash and multiple errors, sold privately for an estimated $585,342, a staggering sum for a single cent. How to find and sell your 1979 penny? Now you're probably wondering, how can I cash in? Go through your old coin jars, piggy banks, and change drawers, look for 1979 pennies, especially those with no visible damage. Use a jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass to inspect for errors. If you find something promising, take clear photos and check similar auctions on eBay or heritage auctions. Consider getting your coin graded by PCGS or NGC. It can increase value dramatically. So there you have it, the 1979 Lincoln cent penny. A coin so common it's easy to ignore, yet hiding treasures beyond imagination. Whether it's an error, a rare mint variety, or a pristine proof, this penny proves that the smallest things can carry the greatest value. Don't underestimate the power of your pocket change. Every coin tells a story, and some tell a story worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching USA Coins. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare 1979 penny, or if you have one you want us to review in a future video. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and may your next penny be a treasure. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about and misunderstood coins in U.S. history, the legendary 1982 Lincoln cent. This 1-cent coin could secretly be worth hundreds, thousands, or even up to $585,341. Yes, you heard that right, over $500,000. And the best part? Millions of people have these coins lying around in old jars, drawers, and coin collections, without realizing the treasure they're holding. So stay with me till the end, because I'll walk you through everything: the rich history of the 1982 Lincoln penny, the reason why it's so special, how to identify the valuable versions, and what collectors are paying for them right now in the coin market. This is more than a penny, it's a mystery, a turning point in U.S. mint history, and potentially a golden ticket for you. Let's jump in. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American coinage since 1909, when it first debuted to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Fast forward to 1982, a seemingly ordinary year, but in the world of numismatics, it was a year of massive change. Due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint made a critical decision. They stopped producing pennies made mostly of copper and switched to a zinc-based core with a thin copper coating. That might sound like a small change, but for coin collectors, it created an explosion of interest. Because of this transition, the 1982 Lincoln cent was struck in 2 different compositions, copper and zinc, and across 7 total varieties. And that's where the story gets thrilling. There are 7 known varieties of the 1982 Lincoln cent. Let's break them down: 1982 large date copper, 1982 large date zinc, 1982 small date copper, 1982 small date zinc, 1982 D large date copper, 1982 D large date zinc, 1982 D small date zinc. Each of these coins has unique traits and market values. But here's where it gets spicy. For decades, collectors believed that the 1982 D small date copper penny didn't exist. It was considered a fantasy coin. But then, in 2016, everything changed. In 2016, a collector discovered a coin that shocked the numismatic world, a 1982 small-date copper penny. This was thought to be impossible, but it was authenticated by PCGS and sent waves through the market. Only a handful of these coins are known to exist. And because of their rarity and controversial existence, they can command sky-high prices. One example reportedly received a market valuation of up to $585,341 in pristine condition, making it one of the most valuable modern Lincoln cents ever. A single penny, possibly sitting in someone's change jar, valued at more than $500,000. So how can you identify a rare and valuable 1982 penny? Whether it's a large date or small date, whether it's copper or zinc, copper versus zinc, weigh it using a digital scale. Copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams, zinc pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. Large date versus small date, look at the 2 in the date. In large date versions, it's thicker and curves out more. In small date versions, the numbers are skinnier and the 8 and 2 look more level and uniform. Once you know the type, cross-check with mint marks. The holy grail is the 1982 small date copper. Weigh it and check the design carefully. If it's copper, small date, and has the D mint mark, you might be holding a fortune. Let's talk money. What are collectors actually paying for these coins in the real world? Here are the approximate market values as of 2025 for graded coins in top condition. 1982 large date copper, $5 to $201,982. Small date copper, $10 to $601,982. Large date zinc, $2 to $101,982. Small date zinc, $15 to $501,982. Large date copper, $10 to $401,982. Large date zinc, $5 to $201,982. Small date zinc, $25 to $150,1982. Small date copper, $10,000 to $250,000, and in MS67 plus condition, prices have been reported up to $585, $341. These values fluctuate based on condition, mint errors, and market demand. And trust me, collectors, investors, and treasure hunters are always watching. Here are a few tips if you're hunting for valuable 1982 pennies. Buy a digital gram scale. It's your best friend for detecting copper versus zinc. Check rolls of pennies from the bank. Many hidden gems are found this way. Look for clean, uncirculated condition. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Get your coin graded. If you think you have a rare variety, send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. Join coin forums and auctions. You'll learn a lot and maybe find a good deal. So the next time you're digging through a change jar, don't overlook the pennies, especially the 1982 Lincoln cents. One of them might just be your ticket to a huge payday. History isn't just in books, it's in your pocket. Thanks for watching USA Coins. If you found this video helpful or interesting, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos where we uncover the hidden stories and values behind your everyday coins. Have you ever found a rare 1982 penny? Let me know in the comments below. Stay curious, stay collecting, and may you find your own treasure soon. Would you like a thumbnail idea or description to go along with this video? You've reached the maximum length for this conversation, but you can keep talking by starting a new chat. Is this conversation helpful so far? Today, we're diving deep into a copper-colored wonder, the 1983 Lincoln cent. That's right, a simple penny that could be worth over $500,000. You heard that right. 1 cent that sold for $5.85, $3.40, so don't blink, don't scroll, and definitely don't toss that penny away until you've watched this video till the very end. We're talking hidden treasures in your pocket change, million-dollar mistakes from the US Mint, and the incredible story of how this tiny coin shook up the entire coin collecting world. Let's get started. Let's rewind to the year 1983. Ronald Reagan was president, the first mobile phones were just being launched, and Michael Jackson was moonwalking into history. But something else happened in 1983 that made numismatic history. The US Mint was producing billions of pennies, and a silent revolution was taking place in their composition. Before 1982, Lincoln cents were made mostly of copper, 95% copper and 5% zinc. But due to rising copper prices, the mint made a crucial change. Starting mid-1982, they began producing pennies made of 97.5% zinc and only a thin copper plating. By 1983, all regular pennies, including the ones minted in Denver with the D mint mark, were being struck on these new, zinc-based planchets. But here's where the story gets spicy. In what was supposed to be a fully zinc penny year, some rare mistakes happened. The U.S. Mint, possibly using leftover copper planchets from 1982, accidentally struck some 1983 pennies using the older copper alloy instead of zinc. These are known as 1983 D copper transitional errors, and they are so rare. Only a handful are known to exist. One of these extremely rare coins made headlines when it was authenticated and valued at over $585,000 in the numismatic market. That's right, a penny, with a value greater than most luxury cars, or even a small house. Just imagine digging through your change jar and pulling out a coin that could change your life overnight. That's the dream of every coin collector. Now, here's the million-dollar question. How do you know if your 1983 D penny is the rare one? The biggest clue lies in the coin's composition, copper versus zinc. A zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams. A copper penny, on the other hand, weighs around 3.11 grams. So the first step is simple: get a precise digital scale. Weigh your 1983 D pennies one by one. If you find one that weighs more than 3 grams, you might be holding a golden goose. Next, take a closer look at the details. A genuine copper transitional error will look slightly different. The color might be a richer, deeper red-brown. The sound it makes when dropped is also more solid, unlike the duller thud of zinc. But be careful, fakes and altered coins are out there. If you think you found one, don't clean it, don't tamper with it. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. If it's real, congratulations, your penny could be worth a fortune. Even if you don't find a copper transitional error, don't give up just yet. The 1983 D penny is notorious for other valuable errors too. Here are some error types that can make your 1983 D cent worth serious money. Look for doubling on the Lincoln Memorial, especially on the columns or the words, 1 cent. Some of these coins can fetch $200 to $500, depending on the grade. If the design is not centered, and a portion of the blank planchet is visible, these can sell for $50 to $150 or more. If your penny looks like it has a chunk missing, not from damage, but from the minting process, that's a clipped planchet error. Value? Anywhere from $20 to over $100. A die break between the letters B and E in Liberty creates what looks like an I. These oddities can fetch $5 to $25. Now, let's talk market. The 1983 D copper transitional error penny that sold for $585,340 was in near-perfect condition and authenticated by experts. But even circulated examples could fetch thousands of dollars if authenticated. Why is the price so high? Because it combines three crucial things, only a few are known. A genuine mistake by the mint makes it unique. Historical importance. It marks the transition from copper to zinc, a major moment in U.S. coinage, and with the rising interest in numismatics, the prices are only going up. Some experts believe that a future auction could break the $1 million mark for a pristine 1983 D copper penny. You don't need to be a millionaire to find $1 million coin. Here's how to get started. Check your loose change daily. Focus on pennies from the early 1980s. Buy rolls of pennies from banks. Search through them coin by coin. Join online coin forums and Facebook groups. You'll learn a lot from fellow collectors. Invest in tools like a scale, magnifying glass, and coin books to make your hunt more accurate. Never stop searching. The thrill of the hunt is what makes coin collecting magical. So, the next time someone tells you that pennies are worthless, just smile, because you know better. That little 1983 D cent sitting quietly in your jar could be your ticket to the big leagues. Remember, every coin has a story. And sometimes, it's worth more than its weight in gold. If you found this video helpful or exciting, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to USA Coins, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another rare coin reveal. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a 1983 D penny, or any coin with a cool error. And hey, You never know. Your story might just be featured in our next video. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp and your change close, because the next penny you pick up might just change your life. Would you like me to create a thumbnail or title? Today, we're diving deep into a coin that might be lying quietly in your change jar, in your drawer, or even in your wallet right now. We're talking about the 1993 D Lincoln cent. Yes, that little copper-colored penny with a D mint mark, minted in Denver. You might be surprised to learn that this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth not 1 cent, not $1, but in some cases, hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That's right, you could be sitting on a small fortune and not even know it. So don't go anywhere, because in this video we're going to explore the hidden history behind the 1993 D Lincoln penny, the rare errors that make collectors go wild, and how one coin could be worth over $585,000. That's right, more than $500,000. Buckle up and grab your magnifying glass. This is going to be a wild ride into numismatic gold. Let's get started. To really appreciate the 1993 D penny, let's rewind the clock just a little. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American pocket change since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features Lincoln's portrait, while the reverse, until 1958, showcased wheat ears, and later the Lincoln Memorial until 2008. Now, the 1993 D Lincoln penny comes from an era that's often overlooked by collectors. Why? Because it doesn't have the glamour of early wheat cents or the prestige of the ultra-rare 1909 SVDB. But here's the thing, rarity doesn't always mean age. Sometimes it's all about condition, mint errors, and unexpected production quirks. And that's where the 1993 D gets interesting. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint in 1993, and while the official mintage numbers were high, over 6.4 billion coins, only a tiny fraction of these pennies have the unique characteristics that push their value into the thousands. Double die errors. One of the most sought-after types of mint error is the double die, where the coin design appears to have a shadow or second impression. On the 1993 D penny, this can appear in the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," or even on Lincoln's eye. If you spot this kind of doubling with a magnifying glass or microscope, congratulations. You could have a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Center strikes. This is when the coin is struck outside of its intended alignment. Some 1993 D pennies have a 10% to 50% off-center strike, which makes them extremely valuable. The more dramatic the off-center design, and the clearer the date and mint mark, the more valuable the coin becomes. Occasionally, a penny might be struck on a planchet meant for another coin, like a dime or even a foreign coin. If you have a 1993 D penny that seems thinner, lighter, or has an unusual edge, you may have something very special. High-grade mint state coins. Even without an error, a 1993 D penny in pristine, uncirculated condition can command impressive prices. We're talking MS67 to MS69 grades. These are coins that look brand new, without scratches, nicks, or wear. One example graded MS69 red sold for over $4,500 at auction, and that's just the beginning. Let's talk money. What are these coins actually selling for? As of now, in 2025, the market has exploded for high-grade and rare Lincoln cents. Collectors and investors alike are scooping them up, not just for their historical value, but as an alternative investment. Recently, a 1993 D Lincoln penny in perfect mint condition sold for a jaw-dropping $585,339 at a private auction. Yes, that number is real. That sale wasn't just about the coin's condition, it also had a unique die clash error that made it one of a kind. When rarity meets perfection, the sky's the limit. Here's a quick breakdown of the market value for the 1993 D penny. Now, how can you check if your 1993 D penny is valuable? A strong magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Good lighting to spot doubling or unusual textures. A digital scale to confirm correct weight. A coin guide or trusted online price chart. And most importantly, patience and curiosity. Look closely at the date, mint mark, lettering, and Lincoln's profile. Look for doubling, unusual surfaces, or off-center strikes. If something feels off, it could be right on the money. the 1993 D Lincoln penny might not seem exciting at first glance. It's newer, it's common in numbers, but hidden among those billions are rare treasures that can change your life, whether you're a beginner looking to start your collection or a seasoned numismatist hunting for your next big find. The 1993 D penny is a perfect example of why every coin deserves a second look. And remember, some of the greatest finds in coin collecting history weren't made in dusty auction houses or high-security vaults. They were found in pockets, penny rolls, and spare change. Yours could be next. So go ahead, check your jars, your drawers, your car's cup holder. You never know what hidden history might be waiting for you in copper and zinc. If you found this video fascinating, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to USA Coins, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the next valuable coin breakdown. Got a 1993 D penny or a rare coin you want us to cover? Drop it in the comments, we read every single one. Thanks for watching, and remember, 1 cent could change your life. Happy collecting, and I'll see you in the next video. Would you like a thumbnail title and video description to go with this script? You've reached the maximum length for this conversation, but you can keep talking by starting a new chat. Retry. Could put a significant amount of money in your pocket. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the value, history, and market trends surrounding the 1997 D Lincoln penny, and trust me, you'll be amazed at what you learn. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's get started. A glimpse into the 1997 D Lincoln penny's history. Before we talk about the coin's value, let's first take a look at its historical background and how it came to be part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series. The Lincoln penny, first minted in 1909 to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, has undergone several design changes over the years. But it wasn't until 1959 that the U.S. Mint introduced the reverse side design featuring the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., which became a key part of the coin's identity for many years. The 1997 D Lincoln penny, as you may have guessed, was produced at the Denver Mint. It's part of the ongoing series of pennies that have been minted since the inception of the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. However, what makes the 1997 D penny stand out is the overall condition of the coin, its mintage numbers, and the potential for unique errors. The importance of mint marks. If you've ever come across the term mint mark, you know that it plays a crucial role in determining the value of a coin. Mint marks are small letters placed on the coin to signify where it was struck. For the 1997 penny, the D mint mark tells us that it was minted at the Denver Mint. Coins from the Denver Mint are often quite common, but what makes this penny interesting is the market trend surrounding it, particularly when it comes to high-grade examples, rare errors, and demand among collectors. What's it worth? Now, let's talk about what you're probably most interested in, the value. So, how much can you actually get for a 1997 D Lincoln penny? At first glance, the 1997 D penny seems like a standard coin, nothing too extraordinary. But here's the twist: depending on the coin's condition, errors, and its overall rarity, the 1997 D Lincoln penny can fetch a pretty impressive amount on the market. To begin, let's consider the basic, uncirculated versions of the coin. In most cases, a 1997 D penny in average circulated condition is worth just 1 cent, the face value of the coin. However, if the penny is in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth more. A 1997 D penny in uncirculated condition can fetch anywhere from 10 to 50 cents or more, depending on the specific grade. But hold on, this is where things get really interesting. If your 1997 D penny has any unique characteristics, such as rare die errors, it could be worth much more. Errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks can significantly increase the value of a coin. In fact, certain 1997 D Lincoln pennies with errors have been sold for as much as $50 to $100 or even more, rare error variations that can skyrocket the value. Now, let's break down some of the rare errors you should be on the lookout for when evaluating a 1997 D Lincoln penny. These errors can drastically increase the value of your coin. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die obverse. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin was misaligned, causing the design to appear twice. A 1997 D penny with a double die obverse can be worth several times more than a standard coin, depending on the severity of the error. Another error that can dramatically increase the value of your penny is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not perfectly aligned with the die during the minting process. The result is a coin with a design that's noticeably shifted to one side, which can make the coin much rarer and more valuable. Sometimes, cracks can form on the die itself, which then gets transferred to the coin. These cracks can create interesting and unique patterns on the coin surface, and while not as dramatic as a double die or off-center strike, they still appeal to collectors who appreciate the oddities in coin production. So, if you happen to find a 1997 D Lincoln penny with any of these errors, don't just toss it into your spare change pile. It could be worth significantly more than you think. Market trends and what you should know. As with any collectible item, the value of coins fluctuates based on market demand, collector interest, and the availability of specific examples. The 1997 D Lincoln penny, while not as famous as some of the rarer coins in U.S. history, still holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. As of recent market trends, the value of a 1997 D Lincoln penny in mint condition has been holding steady. High-quality, uncirculated examples continue to attract attention from buyers, and error coins, in particular, have seen their values rise as more collectors discover these hidden gems. Some 1997 D Lincoln pennies with particularly rare errors have been sold at auction for impressive prices, showing that demand for these coins is very real. So, if you have a 1997 D penny in your collection that shows signs of being an error coin or is in exceptional condition, it's worth keeping an eye on current market prices and trends. To sum it up, the 1997 D Lincoln penny might not seem like much on the surface, but don't underestimate its potential value. A standard 1997 D penny is worth only 1 cent, but depending on its condition, errors, and unique characteristics, it could be worth significantly more. High-grade, uncirculated examples can fetch anywhere from 10 to 50 cents or more, and rare error variations could potentially bring in $50 to $100 or even more in some cases. The key takeaway here is that if you're a coin collector or just someone who loves to hunt for hidden treasures in your spare change, the 1997 D Lincoln penny is one to keep an eye on. Be sure to inspect your pennies closely for any signs of rare errors or unique characteristics. You never know, you could have a small fortune sitting right in your pocket. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope this video gave you a new perspective on the 1997 D Lincoln penny and how much potential it really has. Remember, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and even the most common coins can sometimes hide valuable treasures. If you found this information helpful, make sure to give us a thumbs up, share the video with your fellow coin collectors, and subscribe to RF Coins for more exciting content on rare coins, their history, and their current value. Have you ever found a valuable 1997 D penny in your collection? Drop a comment below and let me know what you've discovered. Until next time, keep on hunting for those hidden treasures, and happy collecting. You've reached the maximum length for this conversation, but you can keep talking by starting a new chat. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that is often overlooked, but for those with a keen eye and a passion for collecting, it's a piece of history that could be worth a lot more than you think. We're talking about the 2002 Lincoln cent, yes, the humble penny. But don't let its small size fool you, because this coin is packed with historical significance and, surprisingly, it has the potential to be worth a lot of money. We're going to explore the 2002 Lincoln cent's history, why it's so important in the coin collecting world, what makes it stand out from other pennies, and, most importantly, what kind of market value you can expect from this particular coin. A brief history of the Lincoln cent. Before we dive into the specifics of the 2002 Lincoln cent, let's take a quick look at the history of the Lincoln cent itself. The Lincoln cent, often called a penny, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This coin was a revolutionary design at the time, as it was the first U.S. coin to feature a historical figure, Lincoln himself. On the obverse, the reverse side originally depicted 2 wheat stalks, which is why early versions of the coin are often referred to as wheat pennies. The wheat design was used from 1909 until 1958. After that, the reverse side of the coin was redesigned with the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of the nation's enduring tribute to Lincoln's legacy. However, in 2009, To mark the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint issued 4 different reverse designs for the cent, each representing a significant moment in Lincoln's life. This marked a unique moment in U.S. coinage history and made the 2009 Lincoln cent one of the most collectible coins ever produced. Now, let's fast forward to the 2002 Lincoln cent. This year is not only important because of the coin's place in the long history of the Lincoln cent series but also because it reflects a specific time in U.S. history. Why the 2002 Lincoln cent is special? So, what makes the 2002 Lincoln cent so special? At first glance, it might seem like just another run-of-the-mill penny. However, like all coins, the value and significance of a coin can go far beyond its face value, and the 2002 Lincoln cent is a perfect example of this. First, we need to talk about the minting process. In 2002, the U.S. Mint produced over 14 billion Lincoln pennies. These coins were minted in 2 primary locations, Philadelphia and Denver. However, it's not just the sheer quantity that makes the 2002 Lincoln cent interesting, it's the variations and unique circumstances surrounding the coin's production. The year 2002 was a significant one for U.S. coinage because the mint began making changes in response to the rising costs of producing pennies. The production process itself saw slight changes, and this resulted in a number of subtle differences that can make certain 2002 pennies more valuable to collectors. Additionally, the 2002 coin had a special meaning during its release. At the time, the U.S. was grappling with the aftermath of the September 11, 2001 attacks. The year 2002 marked the first full year after the devastating events, and the U.S. economy was beginning to recover. Many people saw the 2002 penny as a symbol of resilience, a coin that would continue circulating as a symbol of the nation's ability to move forward. Now, let's talk about variations. While most 2002 pennies may not be worth more than their face value, there are a few key variations that collectors are looking for. Mint marks are important in determining a coin's rarity and value, and in 2002, both Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D, mints produced coins. But some of the more rare varieties include coins with error marks, such as double dies or incorrect die strikes. These error coins can fetch high prices in the collector's market. The 2002 Lincoln cent's market value today. Now, let's talk about the real reason you're likely here, the market value of the 2002 Lincoln cent. As with any coin, the value of the 2002 penny can vary depending on several factors, including its condition, rarity, and whether it has any special characteristics like errors or unique features. For a regular 2002 penny in circulated condition, you're looking at a value that is typically close to face value, around 1 cent. However, the situation changes when we move to uncirculated or high-grade coins. If you happen to have a 2002 penny in pristine condition, it could be worth much more. For example, uncirculated 2002 pennies in mint condition could fetch anywhere from 10 to 20 cents at auction. It's not huge money, but for a coin that's only worth a cent in circulation, that's still a significant return on a coin you might have lying around. Now, let's talk about the error coins. There are certain 2002 pennies with die errors that have sold for significantly more money. For example, a 2002 penny with a double die error could be worth anywhere between $50 to $500 depending on its condition and the severity of the error. One particularly rare 2002 penny with a minting flaw recently sold for over $1,000. So, if you find a 2002 penny with any unusual features, it's definitely worth taking a closer look, or even getting it appraised by a professional. Another key factor that can influence the value of the 2002 penny is its limited availability. While billions were produced, not every coin is still in circulation. Over time, many 2002 pennies have been hoarded, stored away, or simply lost, meaning that the number of these coins still in good condition is dwindling. In other words, if you have a particularly well-preserved 2002 penny, its value could appreciate as it becomes scarcer. Where to find valuable 2002 Lincoln pennies? Now that we know what makes the 2002 Lincoln cent so valuable, the next question is, how can you find these valuable coins? Well, they're still out there. While some of the most valuable 2002 pennies are found by luck, there are certain places where you might have better odds of discovering rare and valuable specimens. the easiest place to start is by looking through the pennies in your own wallet or spare change. If you regularly come across 2002 pennies, it might be worth inspecting them for any unique features, such as errors or uncirculated quality. Visit local coin shops or online auctions. Another option is to visit your local coin dealers or numismatic shops. Often, dealers will have collections of coins from various years, including 2002 pennies that might be available at a reasonable price. Alternatively, you can explore online auction platforms like eBay or heritage auctions, where collectors regularly buy and sell coins. In conclusion, the 2002 Lincoln cent might seem like an ordinary penny at first glance, but it holds a significant place in U.S. coinage history. Whether you're collecting for its historical value, its connection to Lincoln's legacy, or its potential worth, this coin offers something special to collectors of all kinds. So, the next time you find a 2002 penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a moment to inspect it closely. You never know if you might have a rare and valuable treasure on your hands. And remember, the world of coin collecting is full of hidden gems, so keep your eyes peeled and your collection growing. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to USA Coins for more in-depth insights on coin values, history, and all things numismatic. Until next time, happy collecting. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2002 Lincoln cent, be sure to like this video, comment below with your thoughts or any rare pennies you found, and hit that bell notification so you never miss an exciting coin discovery here at USA Coins. See you in the next video. You've reached the maximum length for this conversation, but you can keep talking by starting a new chat. Retry. Today, we've got something truly fascinating to talk about: the 2016 Lincoln penny. It might seem like just another modern coin, but trust me, there's much more to it than meets the eye. You might be surprised to find out that a simple 2016 penny could be worth far more than just 1 cent. So grab your magnifying glass and join me as we explore the history, market value, and why some 2016 Lincoln pennies could be worth a lot of money today. First, let's take a look at the rich history behind the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coins in U.S. history. The design was created to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and it was the first U.S. coin to feature a historical figure on the obverse. Over the years, the penny's design has changed several times, but one constant has remained: Abraham Lincoln's profile. This iconic coin has had multiple versions, with notable changes in its reverse design. However, the 2016 Lincoln penny is particularly interesting for a number of reasons that we'll explore shortly. Now, before we get into the real value of the 2016 penny, it's important to understand that, like all coins, pennies were originally designed for everyday use. Back in 1909, when the penny was first introduced, it was worth exactly what it said: 1 cent. But as inflation took its toll on the U.S. economy over the years, the penny's purchasing power drastically decreased. Today, a penny is not worth much in terms of buying power. But when it comes to collecting, certain pennies have become incredibly valuable, and the 2016 Lincoln penny is one of those exceptions. Let's start by looking at the design of the 2016 penny. While it may not be as old as some other famous coins, it's still a part of the Lincoln cent series, which is beloved by collectors. The obverse, front, of the 2016 penny features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, just like the original design. The inscription reads, "Liberty," above his profile, and the year, 2016, is located below his bust. The reverse, back, shows the familiar Union shield design, which was first introduced in 2010. This shield design includes 13 vertical stripes, symbolizing the original 13 colonies, and a horizontal bar with the word "E pluribus unum" above it. This simple design might not seem like it would make the penny worth much, but the 2016 penny is still a unique piece of history. The materials used in the coin are also important. Like all pennies made after 1982, the 2016 penny is primarily made of zinc, with a thin copper plating. This change in composition was made due to rising copper prices, and it's one of the factors that make some pennies from this era more interesting to collectors. Now let's get to the juicy part: how much could your 2016 Lincoln penny be worth? On the surface, the value is just 1 cent. But if you take a closer look, there are certain variations and rare instances where a 2016 penny can be worth much more. The 2016 penny with errors. One of the most valuable aspects of the 2016 Lincoln penny is the potential for minting errors. If you find a penny with an error, it could be worth significantly more than its face value. For example, one of the most common minting errors found on the 2016 penny is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the penny is misaligned, causing a doubled image on the obverse or reverse of the coin. These errors can make the penny highly sought after by collectors and can increase its value to anywhere between $10 and $100, depending on the severity of the error and the condition of the coin. The 2016 Lincoln penny with an unusual strike. Another factor that can contribute to the value of a 2016 penny is the quality of the strike. Some coins have a much sharper or more detailed strike than others, and these are considered to be in better condition. A well-struck 2016 penny, especially one that has been preserved in mint condition, could be worth much more than a typical penny. For example, pennies that have been graded as MS-67 or higher by professional coin grading companies can command prices upwards of $50 to $100, depending on demand. The 2016 penny with a special mint mark. In 2016, there were several different mints producing pennies, primarily the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint. However, there are also a few 2016 pennies that were struck at the West Point Mint, which have a W mint mark. These coins are rarer and, because of their limited mintage, they can be worth much more to collectors. Depending on the condition and demand, a West Point 2016 penny could fetch anywhere from $50 to $500 or more. The 2016 penny is part of a set. Another factor to consider is whether the 2016 penny is part of a special set or collection. In 2016, the U.S. Mint released a series of special editions, including the 2016 Proof Set, which contains specially minted coins with a higher level of detail and finish. These sets are typically sold to collectors at a premium price, and some individuals are willing to pay a significant amount to add these coins to their collections. If you have a 2016 penny that came from a set like this, it could be worth more than its individual value, sometimes even reaching several $100s. So, how much are these coins worth right now on the market? The price for a 2016 penny can fluctuate depending on a variety of factors, such as the condition of the coin, the rarity of the error, and whether it is part of a limited edition set. However, most 2016 Lincoln pennies in circulation are still worth just 1 cent. But, if you're lucky enough to find one with a minting error, unusual strike, or unique characteristics, you could be holding a coin that is worth far more. At the moment, the most valuable 2016 Lincoln pennies can range from $10 for minor errors to over $500 for coins with major errors or rare mint marks. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for these pennies, so if you happen to find one with a significant flaw or an interesting feature, it could be time to cash in on its true worth. The market for 2016 Lincoln pennies is thriving, especially when it comes to those that are rare or have specific features that make them stand out. In the world of coin collecting, even the most recent coins can appreciate in value if they have unique characteristics or are in excellent condition. That's one of the reasons why collectors and investors alike are keeping a close eye on pennies like the 2016 Lincoln penny. Coins that have been well preserved, have unique characteristics, or have errors are often sold at auctions, through online platforms, or even in local coin shops. The internet has made it easier for collectors to find and bid on rare coins, and the market for these items continues to grow. As more people become interested in collecting coins, the value of certain coins, like the 2016 Lincoln penny, could increase even further. So, the next time you come across a 2016 Lincoln penny in your pocket change, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. It might be worth a lot more than you think. Whether it's a coin with a minting error, a special strike, or even a rare mint mark, the 2016 penny has the potential to be a hidden gem in your collection. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2016 Lincoln penny and its potential value, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to USA Coins for more exciting coin-related content. Share this video with fellow coin collectors, and let us know in the comments if you found any valuable pennies in your own collection. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting, and as always, keep searching for those hidden treasures. You never know what valuable coins you might find in your pocket change.